Okay, we're going over lines of angles, and also this folder we have right here for properties on the next page, right? So properties of parallel lines. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be it's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a longer video, but I'll try to make it as short as possible and cut through it. I'll explain a lot during class, so again, you'll catch up a lot that way. All right. So lines and angles. We're talking about parallel and perpendicular lines. What this unit's about, right? Parallel lines are a huge thing about this one because there's a lot of different things, a lot of different ideas we get from parallel lines, right? We'll talk about them in a little bit. Just real quick, there's symbols for both parallel and perpendicular, and those symbols, right, that we're going to be using a lot and constantly are going to be for parallel. It's going to be like two slanted lines. All right, this is a symbol for parallel lines. Whereas like the symbol for perpendicular lines is going to be like an upside down. So anytime you see these two slanted lines, that's parallel. It's like the two L's. They look like the slanted lines, and then perpendicular is upside down T. Right, kind of looks like two right angles because that perpendicular is the two right angles. All right, so let's get to this. Parallel lines never intersect, and they have the same slope. All right, so they never cross. They go in the same direction. They lie in the same plane. Okay. So for a little box here, we can pick any two that have the same slope but are on the same side, right? So same plane means like the same side. So like if we have, I don't know, AB and DC, they never cross, they never intersect, but they're on the same side. They're on the top. So like in this case, we can write like AB is parallel to DC. Okay. Skew lines. So skew lines also never intersect, but they are not on the same. The but they do, but they are not parallel, and they do not lie in the same plane. All right. So these are a little bit different direction. They're kind of going like that. These ones are not. So like skew line's kind of weird. It's kind of like if you look at this one EH, right? It can't be parallel. It's not on the same plane. So you have to pick another one that's not going to intersect it, but not going to cross it. So they're a little bit weird. But like this one, FB, right? These two will never cross because one's going out, one's going up and down, but they're not even on the same plane, so they're not parallel. It's kind of like this, right? So if you look at these markers, right, the orange one's going straight up and down, the green one's going forward and back, but they're never actually going to cross because they're not going to touch. Right? Those are skew lines. So like EH and BF are skew. Right. Planes. This one's pretty straightforward too. For parallel planes, they're just planes that never intersect. So like, yeah, you can just pick any one, right? So planes are just like the sides. So we can say like this plane, right? This side is never gonna cross this side, right? So like plane ADH is parallel to plane. So it's not just right. Okay. Just a few things to kind of know. All right. So those are parallel lines. We'll get to perpendicular later, but parallel lines are super important, especially really important when it comes to transversals. All right. So what is a transversal? A transversal is a line that intersects at least two separate lines. Okay. So like in this case, right? Um, in this case, this is our transversal, right? This T right here this line is our transversal, and it's really important to have because it does a lot of different things, and we'll kind of see what they are in the next part about this, right? In our next little section. So transversal is super important. They do a lot of different things. They cross two lines, right? So any line that crosses two lines is a transversal, right? Only crosses T, so it's not a transversal. Line M only crosses T, it's not a transversal. But T, right, intersects here and here on L and M, so that is the transversal. All right. Okay. Um, okay. So what does it look like? There's some key terms and stuff that we're going to be looking at. So I wrote these down. So again, add these onto your notes. Just kind of copy this down too. All right. For interior, interior means between the two lines, between the two parallel lines. Between lines. Oops, this is terrible writing. I apologize. All right. Whereas exterior is like outside lines. Outside the lines. So I'm going to highlight it just to kind of see what you're looking at. And so interior lines are going to be ones that lie between our two parallel lines. So like this right here, all this space right here is the interior. Okay. This is our red. We have a little key. It's a little bit helpful. All right, so all this space in here is interior. And so that means all the space on the outside, interior. Right, so like everything up here, right, there's no other like boundary. It's just all this space here, all this space here, even on the bottom, right? All this space is the exterior part about it, so we'll get to that stuff. And you'll see what I mean, like what it means between interior, exterior, even alternate. Alternate is opposite of transversal, opposite sides. Opposite. Same side, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's the same side. I know I usually say don't ever define something with the same words, but like same side just means same side. Let's do of transversal. And then corresponding means the same spot. Okay, so just keywords we're kind of look at. It'll make more sense when we go into the next page. So there you go. That's lines and angles. So let's go on over to properties of parallel and perpendicular lines, or parallel lines. All right. So all of this has to do with like this picture we have here, which are transversal, and you'll see them even on the inside. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways, and again, all these keywords are the same ones that I just kind of had for key terms and what it looks like. Okay. So we have alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, and corresponding. Okay. So let's take a look to see what they all mean, what they all actually do. Okay. All right. So alternate interior means opposite sides, but on the inside. Oh, can't see that. Alternate interior, opposite sides, but on the inside. So what does that mean? I mean, let's define it. So the non-adjacent interior, angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. All right. If a transversal intersects two parallel, right? So we don't have to write all this stuff. Parallel lines, then the alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay. So again, a lot of words, but what does this mean, right? The key term is that congruent. So these angles are going to be congruent. So what are they? All right, this is going to help. This part is really helpful if you have a lot of colors, or at least use different like shapes and stuff or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. So as you can see, I have a lot of different colors because I'm going to fill out a lot of these different ones with different colors, and it'll be easier if you actually have them. If not, follow along with the shapes that I draw. Okay. So the alternate interior angles are on the inside of our two lines, but then on opposite sides. So we have like angle 5 is on the inside and its interior would be angle 3. These are alternate interior. So then, because they're congruent, we can say that angle 5 is going to be congruent to angle 3. Whereas, let's say, the other pair of opposite interior angles would be 4 and 6. Right, they're on different sides. One's on the left, one's on the right. But they're also between our two lines. Again, they're on the inside. So this is, so also angle 4 is congruent to angle 6. Right. Circle, circle, square, square. A lot of different ways to kind of recognize them. So let's continue with that. All right. Alternate exterior. Still opposite sides, but now on the outside. So opposite sides, but on the outside. And you can look at our key by what I mean by inside, outside, and all this stuff. So again, this is helpful too. Just as a reminder. But alternate exterior, it looks almost exactly the same, except now it says non-adjacent exterior angles. Exterior angles at sides of the transversal. And the postulate, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, again parallel lines, then those alternate exterior angles are congruent. Right. So again, what do those look like? Well, these are like, let's use these two colors. So if we look at level, let's color this one in. Angle 2 would be opposite. Exterior would be 8. So opposite sides, still on the outside. So like angle 2 would be congruent, to angle 8. Whereas, like angle 1 is the other pair. Angle 1 and angle 7. I drew a heart for these because those match up. Angle 1 would be congruent to angle 7. Alright. Same side interior. Again, you can kind of basically guess what they are. They're not adjacent interior angles that lie on the same side. Non-adjacent interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. If if a transversal intersect lines, again, all this stuff has to be parallel, so that's what's important. Then the same side interior angles are supplementary. Alright. So for this I can use, let's already use this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What other shape do I got? I can use like a triangle, right? Yeah, let's do a triangle. So same side interior. So on the inside, but on the same side of it. So like if we have angle 4, angle 4 is on the same side as 5, and that's also on the inside. Alright. But here's the difference though. Here it says they're supplementary, so watch out for that, right? If they're on the same side, they add up to 180. So angle 4 plus angle 5 is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, so that's the key word there. Whereas 3 and 6 is the other pair. So, but same idea, angle 3 plus angle 6 is equal to 180. Right. Okay. Same side exterior, same idea. Non-adjacent exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. If they intersect two parallel lines and the same side exterior are supplementary. So again, same idea, but now stuff on the outside. So like we got, what else can I draw? Let's just kind of like highlight them. Let's do a rectangle. So like same side as 1 would be 8. So angle 1 plus angle 8 is equal to 180. Again, that's supplementary if they're on the same side. Whereas angle 2, let's exit, angle 2 and angle 7 side exterior as well. Angle 2 plus angle 7 is equal to 180. Alright, so there you go. A lot of different ones, right? Okay, we got a few more to go through. Corresponding. So on the bottom we have corresponding. It's probably one of the trickier ones to do. Because corresponding, as I said before, like the same area. So this one's kind of funny. Um, let's go back to this. All right. Corresponding means the angles that lie on the same side of the transversal and right. So again, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then the corresponding angles are congruent. So same position, same spot, same side, right? What you're looking for is basically like if you're looking at angle 1, right? That's going to be to the left of our line, but also above our parallel. So to the left of our line, but above the parallel, like is 1 and 5. So went to angle 5. What else? We can do angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. And let's go with this one. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. Alright. Because those are corresponding, right? They're in the same spot. To the left and above, to the left and above, below, to the right, like all this kind of stuff. Alright. That's why all the colors are super helpful. It's good to have them, kind of look at them, or at least have the different shapes and designs. This page is super important. And vertical angles, we've already talked about these, right? A linear pair is something like, I don't know, angle 1 and angle 2. Again, just something to kind of notice and remember, right? So like if you add angle 1 plus angle 2, then you get 180 degrees, right? Whereas like if you had, you can also have angle 1 and like angle 4. Degrees, right? As long as they make a straight line, because you're looking for those straight lines, right? Like that. Right, because that's what linear pairs. They're next to each other, they make a straight line, all that kind of stuff. Whereas vertical angles, and we've talked about those two also, like if you have, they're opposite of our vertex. So like angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. And then angle 4 and angle 2. Alright. That's just kind of review though. We've already talked about this stuff. But yeah, this is all the angles, right? The colors really help. Know the difference between the congruences and the equals, right? The supplementary ones, which are the same side ones. All the other ones are congruent, right? So watch out for those. All right. Yeah, that's that.